Senator Biden, it's nice to have you here. As the youngest member of the Senate, the one, therefore, who may expect the longest career there, I wonder if you'd say to us, since it's clear that you're not corrupt and you got elected, why should people think that the system produces corrupt results when there you are?
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that, though.
Advancing liberty and justice also requires protecting the rights of women. The constitutional right affirmed by Roe v. Wade, standing precedent for half a century, is under attack as never before. If you want to go forward, not backwards, we must protect access to health care, preserve a woman's right to choose, and continue to advance maternal health care for all Americans.
But this isn't the end of the line. The next platform and medium will be even more immersive, an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. And we call this the metaverse. And you're going to be able to do almost anything you can imagine,
Video, Rick, is that all right? Demons are real. Demons are real, and they are everywhere in this world, but especially in our government. Okay, one moment just 1 second here. Is that all right, Rick? Yeah.
In Afghanistan face many dangers. One being stationed at bases breathing in toxic smoke from burn pits. Many of you have been there.
Yes, I doxed the truckers. I did it. It was me. I hacked Give, Send, Go, baby. And I do it again. I do it 100 times. I did it. Come at me. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me, huh? I hacked Epic Hosting! I hacked Parler! I hacked Gab! I hacked Truth Social! I hacked Go! Give, Send, Go! I don't care!
Ma'am, put your feet in so we can close the doors.
Okay. I'm just gonna close the door. You stay right there before we move. Hey, calm down. Calm down. Back up. Hold on. Hey, get your foot back in there. Get your foot back in there. Get your foot back in there. Ma'am, we're going to have to tase you. You're not going to like that. I don't understand what you're telling me. Put your feet back in there. Bro.
Racism has exploded in our country. I'm not sure if you've seen it recently. Hopefully you didn't have to go through all this. I feel terrible for this woman. My heart goes out to her. I mean, she's absolutely demonically possessed. It's absolutely under the power of the devil. Jesus would have great compassion for them. What I don't have a lot of compassion is when leaders of the world act demonically. What was Nancy Pelosi doing? Well, she rubs her hands when Biden's talking about our soldiers are facing so many dangers, stationed in bases, breathing toxic fumes. And she gets up and she rubs her hands like, sometimes demons can't help themselves. They love this stuff, and she is super excited that this is happening. Don't think for a moment she doesn't think that about the babies that are being aborted or the babies that are being sacrificed, right? She's the one that passed all these laws to, up to birth, abortion up to birth. Again, this is one of those things where you fight not against flesh and blood. Do you feel sorry for people that are like this lady here? Absolutely. Do you know what you're facing against the government? Absolutely, we know what we're facing. It is the tyranny of the devil. It is the tyranny of the devil, and Jesus came to destroy the works of the devil, says 1 John. That's where the Son of God appears, to destroy the works of the devil. But make no mistake about it. What's in the White House, what's in the Kremlin, what's in Downing Street, what's in Canberra, what's in Xi Jinping up in China, it's the work of the devil. It is no doubt the work. And these leaders are, I asked a question to my friend Jacob. I said, do you think these leaders are demonically possessed? And he was being nice about it. I was the one that was going to say, yes, they are, totally. He was like, well, there's some of them are, certainly are, but some of them are influenced. I was more on like, I think these guys are. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying for sure a great. Look. What about the curriculums that they're using in schools? The curriculums are unbelievably crazy, in other words. You have things like critical race theory, critical gender theory, all coming from the critical ideas, all being taught to like as young as three-year-olds. Now, it's funny that when we mention this, I just say it's funny. It doesn't mean it doesn't have to be funny. But it's funny that when we bring this out, not to you guys, but in general, Christians are the first to oppose it. No, that's not happening. That's not happening to 3-year-olds. That's not happening in my school. I said, well, you're not the center of the world, right? You're not the sun, the moon, and the stars. Because it's not happening in your school doesn't mean it's not happening, right? The second thing is, it is widely reported by even unbelievers who are looking at this and saying, why are their children, young as 3, learning about sexuality and critical gender theory and critical race theory, right? What would they know? And by the way, they're not being taught, they're being data mined. Data mined. What data mined means is simply they're just collecting the data of how they react. Oh, when you say little Johnny wants to be little Susie, how do they react? If they give him a test, A, Johnny wants to be Susie, is that, A, is that he's still Johnny? B, everyone can be whatever they want? C, I'll like my new friend, but it's never, is this right or is this wrong? It's always an emotional appeal. And by the way, this is an emotional learning survey. Basically, they're just data mining kids. How do they react to when they're propose a certain question? This, group wants to say, well, it's not really good that we are teaching only kids about, sexuality, about straight heterosexual. We need to open it up to all kinds of options. Then that actually teaches them to have, a better choices in life. Because, you never know. Our kids could be a new term, chronophilia. Chronophilia, what does that mean? Chronos, time, philia, like phileo, like love. You can love different ages, right? You can love different ages. So kids don't know what they don't experience, right? So who knows if your children are really connected to older people? Or maybe they really love older people, so you need to let them experience that. It's bizarre. It is crazy. It is demonic. It is absolutely from hell. And, it's shame on Christians that don't stand up to it and say nothing because why? It's not happening in my school district. And we move on, don't we? And we move on. But this is, of course, it's pushed by the media. New emojis. Hey, a man can be pregnant. I remember watching a movie about, was it Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie or something like that? Pregnant? Yeah. Another video, Rick. Rick's like, not today. Okay. Okay, so, by the way, most of the, it's most of them. It's not all of them, but most of them, unbelievably enough, that have strange opinions like this are teachers. I don't know why. I don't know why. Teachers seem to be the number one advocate for all this, right? The advocacy groups are teachers. And they hate parents, by the way. I even had to talk to a friend of mine who used to be an administrator. And it's this sort of empowerment that teachers have about being in their kingdom. Like, your teachers are in your kids are in my kingdom, therefore I can do whatever I want, you know. And then parents, you guys don't know anything. You guys are basically ostracized from my kingdom. This is a couple of videos. You might them funny, might them be very tragic. They're all teachers. So.
Terrorist, purple for parents are. Terrorist, purple for parents are. They come to school board meetings with lots of things to say, and they will bully, cuss, or scream if they don't get their way.
I want to talk to the kids. Sometimes human beings are more than boy or girl. Sometimes we're something else. Sometimes we're both. Sometimes we kind of float in between.
A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors.
Teachers.